Yes, I mean, obviously 50 years is a long time. I think the punk was a brilliant era in as much as it almost cleansed the way for the new wave of British heavy metal to come away. It left this big chasm in music, so we were glad to be part of it. You know, it helped us. It propelled us into not quite the realms of Praying Mantis, but here we are 50 years later, we're still going. So we thank God for that. It was a brilliant time. In terms of evolving, yes, I think we've evolved. I think we are a much better unit now, but we obviously had something then that people liked. So, and hopefully we've still got that same sort of, you know, those ingredients in a slightly different sort of recipe. But yeah, we're glad to still be here. In terms of the melody, Tino and myself, we loved melody. It just was a major.
Me too. I love melody as well.
It's just and that's why, you know, I think with, you know, JC Hands and Andy, when they came into the band, they just added to that flavour that Tino and myself already had.
Okay, the next song is something very special. And then me wrote it back in, was it 2013, 14, something. We were young and beautiful back then.
Yeah. And this is especially for Sergios. Where are you, Sergios?
Sergios, this one's for you.
There, man. This was you and your ex-girlfriend's favourite song. Let's hope she's not here. We've never done this live before.
The early influences, Wishbone Ash and Thin Lizzy. For Tino, obviously, with the twin guitars, Thin Lizzy was definitely one of the you know, the main thing. But Wishbone Ash as well. They were there. They were some of our early influences. But you know, we still hope that same melody is part and parcel of our music. If we don't have a melodic album, we'll think we failed. So you know, it's very much ingrained in our nature of music.
My influences were Kiss, you can see, and White Snake, and like the hard rock. I grew up with that, and a bit of Zeppelin and Purple. So I had to dig into the Praying Mantis music, and I'm really a fan of Journey, so I like melodies. Yeah, so I remained supporting Kiss. That's when I bought the albums. But never was really a heavy metal fan. But we're not making heavy metal, so that's why I'm still in the band. I hope.
It's. I mean, there's always going to be these categories that they need to put in. You know, I've never seen ourselves, to be honest. A lot say, were we part of new wave of British heavy metal? Because again, we didn't quite fit into that category, but like I said, it was a vehicle for us, and it certainly helped. Otherwise, maybe people never would have heard of Praying Mantis. So it did assist us. But you know, going back to the era where John and Hans joined, I think it was a bit of a reinvention. And you know, my only regret is why we didn't have this lineup back in, say, 79, 80. I honestly believe we would have been where Maiden are now.
I just wanted to make music. I mean, I've been writing my songs since I was 17. So, and when I came in, I still remember you sending me Eyes of a Child.
That was wonderful.
And that was because they saw me perform with Hans, with our Iron Maiden tribute. And he sent me, he said, I want to hear you sing on an original song. So he sent me Eyes of a Child, and I went to a friend's studio, and all of a sudden it was like, wow, I love this. It's melody, it's rocky, it's everybody influences each other, and hopefully in a positive way.
Yeah, and I think that combination, I think both those songs was mainly you and Andy, wasn't it? Yeah. So it just brought in a different dimension. So you don't have, you know, sometimes if there's one writer in an album, it can sound samey. There's no doubt about it. You can try, but it can be a bit too of that same sort of, you know.
There's a song called Lovers to the fucking grave!
menace of the night return, the sanguinary cry. I mean, in all honesty, without Japan, I don't think Praying Mantis would have survived. They, you know, Time Tells No Lies, when that was released, it did quite well in most territories, but in Japan it went ballistic. It really did sell so well. So they seem to recognize that part of the melody, what we're trying to do, and maybe what some of the other territories didn't quite understand. They just seem to be a little bit ahead of the curve. And they've been brilliant for us for many, many years. So, you know, I have to thank the Japanese audience and say, yeah, because without them, I don't think we'd be here today. So they've played a major part in Praying Mantis. Yeah, so in terms of that hunger, as you say, I actually enjoy being on stage now more than 50 years ago. There's no doubt about it.
Less stress,
there's less stress, and I think it's confidence as well with, you know, the members in the band. And as you said before, you know, to have that chemistry now, which we've got with the 12 years, you know, with that 12 years of knowing what someone's going to do, you know, it's like a wife on stage, really, you know exactly what they're going to do. So you have that belief and that confidence, so you can just relax and then enjoy the shows. I think, seriously, the last 4 or 5 shows we've done, some of the best we've ever done. And we've gone down a storm, and, you know, we come off stage, we think, wow, did that happen? It was just incredible. We just reach heights that we've never done in 50 years. So that, to me, you never know quite where it's going to stop. You think, even at this old age, and yet we're still hitting different plateaus. So incredible.
Yeah. Tell me about the one and only C, which was the first song you wrote about legacy.
Yeah, well, as I said, I'm a romantic guy, so it's all about love, and it's like Whitesnake and Bon Jovi, but I was used to these kind of lyrics, and the one was, at that time, I was really in love.
With the one?
With the one. Now I got a next one. So, well, and then sometimes the lyrics pop out like that, and the melodies and everything. So I loved singing those songs, and well, tonight we're going to hear one of them.
Chris, how did you perceive those, you know, this new approach and this new kind of sound?
I welcome it. You know, like I said, you know, it's John knows this. I've never written about love ever. It's all death and destruction, and, you know, seeing the other side, you know, follow the light, letting go, which is about death and things like that, you know, the other side. So it's not innate to my lyrics, to my way of thinking, but that's why I welcome a different facet to our music. Otherwise it can get too samey, so I'm more than welcome.
And that keeps it interesting for the fans as well, I think.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
And some love them and some don't, but then again...
And it keeps a balance, actually. Death and destruction, love and...
Exactly.
Well, and diversity on an album, that's to me, that's very, as we said before, sometimes you have bands, they record an album, and you start with number 1 and number 4 is similar.
Yeah.
And it's a shame. So, but I think Praying Mantis has always this diversity on every album. Because Chris writes, Andy writes, Tino writes, I write, so it's a diversity.
Well, we'll keep going as long as people will accept us. You know, we all love music, we love being on stage. And like I said, the last 4 or 5 shows just hit different plateaus I never thought we'd reach. So you never know when it is the end. You know, it's funny because we met with Martin Turner from Wishbone Ash. I said one of our sort of early inspirations. We saw him at a show. I think that was the one that Ralph originally set up in near Berlin, and it wasn't the best of gigs in the world. It was a small little club. It was supposed to be a different festival, but it turned out to be this small little club, and it wasn't particularly enjoyable. And I remember seeing Martin playing, and I could only think of Martin being on stage in the early 70s and in the early 80s, playing these huge arenas, massive arenas around the world, and you think, but how can his brain go from that to this little club, and can you still comprehend it? But obviously he's still got that love of music, and he can't put his guitar down, knowing it's not there anymore, but he's still got that passion, and he can't drop it, you know. But so that to me is very, I think it typifies what, you know, your question there. It's that hunger that you just can't really let go. I was just looking so forward to, I mean, the Greek audience. I know so many people say it, but I think Greek audiences are one of the best that I think ever, you know, we've played to. So I'm hoping it's going to be like it has done in the past. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Are you going to get drunk a bit before?
No, not before.
But certainly afterwards. Certainly
Only
afterwards.
afterwards.
Only
Have to
afterwards.
find the drinks. And I just remember something. Maybe you wrote something about love, actually. Lovers to the grave? It's about death?
It is, yes. I suppose so. But they do die.
Yeah.
Everybody dies in Chris's lyrics.
Amazing. Thank you, guys.
Lovely. Thank you
You're
very much
welcome.
indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Oh Lord, it's time to pray. Oh Lord, it's time to pray. Time to pray. Time to pray.